Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to James Cameron.
I almost bailed on being a filmmaker. It's about sitting in that big dark room with all those other people you don't know, and something's gonna come up on that screen that's gonna take you somewhere.
I'm the king of the world! Hey, Adam. Meet you.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
Good. Tell me about you. Hi, nice to meet you. Tell me about how this all came about and how did you wind up doing a Jim Cameron podcast of all things.
So this is sort of an extension. I used to do a Terminator podcast called Terminator 101 and did a T2 3D roundtable with some of the cast from Universal Studios. And because it's always been this, I think, the most unique piece of Cameron's filmography. If you really take a step back and look at everything the guy's done, it's sort of
unique
this.
In what way? I'm glad you said that, but I agree. But tell me what that means to you.
Yeah, it's the fact that it's a theme park ride. It's not even a ride, but a lot of people call it a ride. The fact that it's like a hard R franchise got put into a family friendly theme park. You don't really see that anymore.
Right, it's a PG-13 attraction kind of.
Yeah. So it's just this weird thing, and then it's like a mini sequel to T2, but they kind of break some of the rules. I know like the coming through with the motorcycle and fully clothed is kind of very not in line with how the time travel worked in the films, and of course you had to do that for theme park guests. You can't have a naked guy on the stage.
And we talked about it with Jim, and he was cool with it.
Yeah. And there's been so many theories about how this is like later on in the future, clearly, so maybe they came up with
different machine.
Different machine. So so to me it's because he did traditional films, he's done documentaries, but this is really, up until Pandora at Walt Disney World, this was the only thing that he ever did in the theme park business. And so personally I think it's, again, his most unique piece. And I've talked to Gary Goddard, I've talked to a lot of the cast that worked at Universal. I talked to Van Lang, not about this specifically, but he did mention that he was on board at the at the pre-production elements, and then once the thing actually started, he really had nothing to do with it. So
and you did a big thing about this a while ago with Gary and a group of people, didn't you? Like a couple months ago.
Yeah, so I did that with Gary, Jeff Brozovich, Jason Latona. So basically all the people that played the T-800, John, Sarah, Kimberly Duncan. I got one of the Kimberly Duncans.
You remember who?
Christy Wurzbach.
Great. And who was your? So John was your Jason. Yep. Jeff was your T2. Was your Terminator. And who'd you get for T-1000?
That was Michael Sawyer, and then Sarah was Kiana Politis.
Don't know her. Well, if I do, I forget. It's been a while. Was she in the original cast, or is she later on?
I think she might have joined shortly after. I know Jeff was original. Jason was original.
Yep. And so was Christy. Very cool. Well, I think one of the things I sort of want, what I really should do is I should listen to or watch that podcast, because what I don't want to do is kind of
repeat,
either repeat or conflict too much with anything they might have said, and sometimes Gary and I remember these events differently. So I should probably go back and look at how Gary addressed a lot of it, and then I'm happy to fill in the gaps or anything that's useful. Is it useful to have a second conversation about it? It sounds like you've already covered the subject pretty nicely, but I mean,
well, I've actually I did that one, and then I did a second one because I wanted to really kind of focus on the stunt work. So I had Joe Beccaro on, who was doubling for Arnold during a lot of that stuff, as well as a couple other cast members that That one was a little bit chaotic in terms of everyone's scheduling, so that's why it's a little foggy in my memory. I really remember the Gary Goddard one, because that was the first thing I recorded for this podcast.
Really?
Yeah, that was the very first episode. So because I'm not going in chronological order of Cameron's stuff, because I don't want to be like, all right, well, I covered T2 3D, and then 3 months from now get to talk to someone like you and go, well, I can't cover it now because I already passed it.
Already passed it.
Yeah.
Well, there were several different ones. You could cover the 1999 version for Osaka, but that's a very different thing. So.
Right. And yeah, it's such a shame that it's gone. We talked a little bit about how COVID played a big part with Japan, and have you been over there? Because what replaced it is very odd. Have you been over there?
Not since it closed. I opened the show in Japan, but I haven't been literally since the opening.
It's the weirdest thing. It's like the weirdest thing that replaced it, because in Hollywood it's Minions, which is weird. I don't like that, right. But whatever. In Florida, it's the Bourne Stuntacular, which is actually very good.
Which is great, really great,
very good. So happy about that. But in Japan, it's called Detective King Conan or something like that. I have no idea what that is.
Is it some Japanese IP that they built an attraction around? I hadn't even heard that. And is it permanent or temporary? Because they were doing some temporary stuff in there for a while, like for seasonal events and things. But is it a permanent show now?
To my knowledge, yeah. That's why I was hoping maybe you had gone over there. You could put a little insight. No? Okay.
No idea. You know anything about it?
No, just well, I mean, like when I first heard that, I was like, Conan, like the Barbarian? And then I asked Gary, and he was like, no, I don't think it has anything to do with, even though I had something originally planned with Conan, I don't think this has anything to do with Conan the Barbarian.
Huh. So, no, it's the first I've heard of it. I didn't even know there was a show in there. For all I knew, they'd knocked the building down. So I didn't know. You're ahead of me. And I wonder if they're still using any of this projection screens or the stage, or if they've just gutted it and turned it into something entirely different.
Right. Yeah, see, because I'm in Savannah, Georgia, so I always go to Universal in Florida. So I've been to the Bourne Stuntacular, and I love that they basically just kept the building the exact same. And
pre-show is pretty much the same, and the seats are the same.
Yeah.
But the stage has been gutted and redone, and the screens obviously are all different. And I think there's more room backstage. I don't know if they expanded out the back, or if they're actually able to squeeze all of those sets in the back. I haven't asked John how they did that.
I would love to get Van on here, because I've had him on a few episodes already, and
I'd love to see Van again. I haven't seen Van in 4 or 5 years, I think.
Yeah. So awesome. Hopefully we can make all 3 of our schedules line up.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think if there's other folks from the project who would be interesting to talk to about it. Assuming Jim's not available.
I've always said I don't want to peak too soon. This podcast is very new, so if I get James Cameron on this podcast, I peak too soon.
Who else would be cool to be part of this? I can think about it, about who we could recommend. I would suggest the guy who helped me design it, the visuals for it. It was Luke Mayran, but he works at Disney right now, so I don't know if they would let him do an interview about Universal thing while he's still working at Disney. Huh. But he designed the look of the show and the theater and everything.
I did have because he's a friend of mine, actually. We've done a lot of things. Jeff Dawn, the makeup artist.
Oh, he's cool.
Yeah, he was on. He was on.
Darren, what's his last name? Was the production designer. Darren, I'll think of it in a second, who has gone on to become a big famous production designer for big feature films, and it was his first project. He was just a kid when he started on it. Oh, Darren Guilford, that's his name.
Darren Guilford. Okay.
Darren Guilford is he worked on Star Wars and Tron and Kingsman and Spider-Man. He's done a bunch of stuff as production designer. but he was super talented, and he designed like the whole look of the film, of the whole CG look of Skynet Underground, the underground look. He designed he did the final design of the T-1000, the design of the flying hunter killers. We had done very rudimentary designs for them in our storyboards and pitches, but he designed the actual ones for the film, and they were beautiful. And so he's a very talented guy.
Yeah, see, that's the other reason I think it's so unique, is because Cameron is, credited as a co-director of the short film part of it, but this is it's his thing, Terminator, but there's so many other people, yourself, Darren, that are so instrumental in designing a lot of this stuff that normally I feel like, right, on T1, T2, James actually, he was mostly doing a lot of that. He was sort of a like the godfather, I feel like, of this thing. Would you say that's right?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't on the actual features, but just watching how he works, he's very collaborative. He has this reputation of being a one-man band, and he just yells at everybody, and he's hard to get along with. But he's the guy I worked with was very thoughtful, intelligent, collaborative. He expects you to do good work, and the only time I ever saw him get annoyed was if somebody was holding up the production. I saw him when Darren brought in the prototypes for the flying mini hunters. We were already shooting on set, and they were going to be needed like the next day, and he was frantically building them in a shop, and he brought them over for Jim to look at, and he looked at it. I don't know if we'd say this on the podcast, but they had it's like a ring with a gun hanging underneath it that shoots.
Right.
And Jim looked at it and said, "It looks like a dick and balls." And the way Darren had it, it was like hanging like this with two little vents hanging off the bottom of it. And we all looked at it and went, "It looks like a dick and balls." So Darren went back and like broke it and flipped it upside down and made it not look like a dick and balls for the next day. Oh, hang on. And he just, like, while we were sitting there, he cracked it and said, "Here, if I pull this off and put this here, is that better?" And Jim said, "Yes." And he went away and glued it together the different way. That's I think that's what good directors do. They don't have to do it all themselves, but they do know how to talk the lingo to everybody on the team to get the results they need.
Also, I noticed behind you, there's an endoskeleton wearing a cowboy hat.
Yes, there is. Yes, hang on. Should change both. There it goes.
Oh wow!
This is actually a T-700 replica head from Terminator Salvation. I just saw it in a shop once or an auction or something and got it.
Okay.
It's because we never got a single piece of stuff from the show. When they tore down the show in Hollywood, I said, "Is there anything I can get? I know exactly what I want. I want one of the mini hunters." And they said, "Oh, the mini hunters are all gone. Some collector walked in and bought them a couple of years ago." I went, "What? You said we couldn't have them, but you let a collector buy them?" And I said, "Well, then can I buy something? Can I buy a head from a T-100, from a T-70, or any other thing?" They said, "No, you can't have anything." "But you sold some stuff to some collector off the street, but you won't let us buy it?" "No." So I have nothing. I actually have one of Darren's. I do this. I have Darren's concept art for.
Oh wow!
For the show. This is. I forgot I had this until just now. This is his concept art for cyber, for Skynet, and a photo of the final piece.
Right. Oh man,
I just don't have any wall space to hang it, so it's just sitting here in my office.
That's what I love. That's what I love about, because Gary has the same, not that exact same thing, but he has, like, during it, he was like pulling stuff out. He had a birthday card, Gary Goddard's Battle Against Time or something like that. I don't know if you recall, like a birthday card that was given to him or something, but it's like you'll see it in the episode. He pulls it out, and it's Gary Goddard's Battle Against Time or something like that.
Cute.
And yeah, like just neat knickknacks that were being pulled out left and right. And that sucks that you didn't get anything, especially because when the Florida attraction closed, I know that they auctioned off a lot of the like the stuff, like the T70s. I know were sold. None of that was given to the creators. None of that was, hey guys.
Nobody called me. I never heard. I don't know. Maybe Gary got one. I don't know. I haven't heard. So, but he didn't. He would have showed it to you if he had it, I guess. So.
Right. Yeah.
No, now I have to go look and see if they're available online. I don't know if I want a full size T70. They're like 8 feet tall, but I wouldn't mind having a head of one or something. If you know anybody that's got a flying mini hunter, that's what I really want, because that whole gag was one of my favorite ones that we came up with in the early pitch to Jim, and he always liked it. And did you ever see which one is it? Which Star Trek movie is the one where Worf does the exact same gag? It's literally like they went to T2 3D and said, "Oh, let's just do that," where Worf is being chased by some little flying things on a planet, and he's got a phaser like a shotgun, and he runs out of shots, and he flips it around like a baseball bat and whacks it, bats the flying thing away. Like, you just took that from our show, didn't you?
That was because I brought that up with one of my guests. I was like, that's my favorite. Literally that. Oh, John Bruno. I had John Bruno on as well. And
Bruno's awesome. Was he on the one with Gary?
No. He was on his solo, he was on a solo episode like this, just because of scheduling and everything. And I actually hadn't had his contact at the time. That's what I love about doing this, is because I typically rely on social media to find whoever. But a lot of the people I get on come from doing a podcast like this, and then they go, you know who you should talk to? And then they pass along, hey, this guy has a podcast. Do you want to do it? So John was how Ed Marsh put me in touch with John Bruno. But I was telling John about the flipping the shotgun around and using it as a baseball bat. That's one of my favorite moments. Always, anytime I watch the show, I was always excited to get to that point. And I always looked around at everyone watching, seeing if they were as excited as I was when he realizes he doesn't have any more rounds and uses it as a baseball bat.
I'm glad you liked it. That was one of my favorite gags to come up with. That was really fun. Sorry, we can save all this for the podcast, because the whole idea was, the idea is always, if you have a thing like a flying thing, then use it in as many fun ways as you can think of. And we wanted things that would come off the screen, so we came up with the idea of little flying mini hunters. And then we said, well, how many fun gags can we come up to do with them? And the baseball bat was a good punchline for it. Anyway, this is all stuff we can try and talk about. So, so how did you happen to get into this? You started out as a fan, or are you in the industry, or what drew you to all this stuff?
Are you talking about Cameron or podcasting?
Yes.
Well, Cameron's always been, for quite some time, he's always been to me, he's the greatest filmmaker of all time. He's he's quality over quantity. You look at his filmography, 8 films, I guess 9 if you include Piranha. But it's just
Battle Beyond the Stars. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Galaxy of Terror, all that stuff. But yeah, I love his body of work. I don't think he's made a bad film, again, excluding Piranha. But even that one I find to be superior to Piranha 1. So
there you go. He's a sequel man.
He is the king of the sequel. And podcasting I've done since 2015. I've had a few different kinds of podcasts, and so this one was sort of a next evolution past Terminator 101, because that sort of pigeonholed me a little bit. So now I can kind of branch out a little bit more and talk to, I did a Titanic roundtable. Van was on that one. Jeanette Goldstein was on there. So it's just, I love talking about the stuff. And I noticed that there isn't a podcast dedicated to in-depth coverage of Cameron. So I feel like, well, I'll take that and do my best with it. So
cool. How many episodes have you done so far?
Currently, I believe I'm up to 34 or 5. I know I have like 40 hours of back cataloged stuff. The podcast just launched August 16th because that was Cameron's birthday, and I thought that was the perfect time to launch it. So there's only 3 episodes currently out. The T2 3D episode, and then there's an Avatar episode, and yeah. So, but I have a whole back catalog of stuff at the ready to release. So
Nice.
it's kind of funny you have a T 700 from Salvation, because I always remember in the gift shop at the end when you left, for some reason they were also selling. I'm pretty sure they were selling that exact one you have right there, the T 700.
For some reason, that was just easier to get one like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's currently selling 800 models or not, but they're not. So this is the sexy black version instead of the boring old chrome one.
Yeah, like I always found it odd that they had because and then they had a big kind of mural of Arnold from T3. Like I was like, where's the T2 stuff? Like, why don't we have T2 stuff in this gift shop?
Right.
It's all the stuff I don't care about.
Yeah, and yeah, as far as I'm concerned, T3 forward never happened. But
yes.
But like I said, it's the only one I just happened to come across it and thought, oh, at least it's something. So.
Although I will say, if you have a chance, whenever you're traveling or whatnot, on Netflix right now, they just released a new anime series. I don't know if you're into anime, but it's called Terminator Zero, and it's like the newest addition to the franchise, and it is better than 3, 4, 5, maybe even the one Cameron produced, 6. It's maybe even better than that one.
Nice.
So.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, literally just came out, and on Friday I'm talking to the composers. So, yeah, very exciting. But yeah, check it out. It's on Netflix.
Very cool. Oh, also remind me when we do this to show you my. I don't know, maybe Gary already did this. Just show you my plaque of the patent that Universal got for the theater design. I have that.
I don't think he showed that one. I don't think he pulled that one out. No.
So it's on my wall over there. So if you ask me about the patent plaque, I'll just go pull it off the wall. So.
We did pull up his photo he took with Arnold and James. Did you get a photo similar to that one? Do you know what I'm talking about? No?
I do know about it. You're talking about.
Did you get one? I can't read you. I can't read you.
I was on the set every day working on, doing continuity and answering Jim's questions and stuff. Gary came to the set on one day. He hovered around all day, said, I want to get a picture with Jim and Arnold. And he kept asking Jim if he could get it. And just as they were wrapping for the day, he said, can I get the picture? And Jim pulled Arnold over and they took that picture. And then they walked away. And I'm going, and Gary said, oh, did you want to get a picture too? I said, yeah. He said, okay, well, come here. We'll take a picture. And he put his arm around me and we took a picture. But Jim and Arnold were gone. So I have a picture of me and Gary in that spot, but I never got to get that picture. I do have like a blurry picture of me and Arnold at 3 a.m. out in the desert, shaking hands when he was being introduced to me. And it was all before iPhone, so I don't have any other photos from the set. So that's kind of what I got. So it's, and then Gary puts that picture in every single thing he's ever done ever since then. So anyway, it's all good. It's great. He, I'm glad he has the picture.
Hopefully, so, I mean, like, hopefully there's not any kind of animosity or anything like that. And hopefully it's all good.
It's all great. It was that whole show was conceived in delight and joy and was really fun to work on. Really fun.
Good. Because I know it's always always both of your names right next to each other. Even on the big plaque at the end.
Where's the plaque? Who got the plaque? I don't know.
Yeah. Who got the plaque? It says show developed by Adam Bezark and Gary Goddard.
There's 3 of them. I wanted the one from Japan. I kept saying, if you ever knock the show down, please, can I get the plaque? And I never heard anything, and now it's gone. So I don't worry about that stuff that much. But now when you ask me, I go, shit, I never got the plaque. So, it's all good. Wow. We have wonderful things that we like working on today that are fun. So
well, and you have what no one can buy, which is the memory, right? You have you were there. You know what I mean? So
And it was, and right, and it really was amazing. It really was the sort of the ride of a lifetime for all of us, because I don't think anybody, with the possible exception of maybe Captain EO, had ever attempted to put something together with that much star power behind it,
right.
and pulled it off. And this was not just getting a bunch of stars together; it was getting a bunch of stars together with a super famous franchise, and it was a big risk by Universal. They were very nervous, and we were really lucky that they trusted us to do this. So yeah, it was, and they probably only let us do it because Jim said it would work, not because we said it would work. We were pitching and pitching. They said, I don't know, let's show it to Cameron. And Cameron said, oh yeah, this is great. And they said, okay, let's build it. So we got to do it, which is great.
Yeah, we'll talk about this more. We'll
let's not wear it out. I'll forget it all next time when we talk. So you'll have to prompt me. Anyway, thanks, man. This will be fun. And
absolutely.
We will make this work. All right. Thanks, bud. We will talk soon, and this should be fun.
Absolutely. Talk soon.
All right. Thanks.